Well, we are now joined in the studio by the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Bernard Haufiku. Dr. Haufiku, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us tonight. The appointing authority, the President, not a very happy man. Can you provide us some clarity with regard to the tensions between yourself and the Permanent Secretary?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here. I hear what you're saying, and I was right there in Cabinet where the President made a statement. Being unhappy, I don't think I am myself happy either. That's why I went to the President some time ago. I went to Prime Minister to brief him and her on the situation in the ministry. I see the society receiving news of tension. The issue is not really tension. For me, it's principles. I pick up a few issues that I would not maybe go into detail because there is a legal issue, there is disciplinary hearing going on. I received letter from lawyers representing the Permanent Secretary. I have to be careful of what I'm saying on camera, what I'm not saying, just to avoid technical legal knockout there.
But you do admit that there are problems.
Yeah, in summary, maybe I would want to say that the situation as far as the top management or between myself and the Permanent Secretary has become untenable. There's no trust between the two of us, that I can say. And I agree with the President when he say one of us must go. Maybe I should just admit here on camera that I'm ready to go if I have to go. But if I have to go, obviously I have to go as instructed by the appointing officer because I was appointed by the President. And obviously the President has got all the power and prerogative to relieve me of that. The Permanent Secretary was appointed by the Prime Minister, so it's also a matter between the Permanent Secretary and the appointing authority, which is the Office of the Prime Minister, under the leadership of the Secretary to Cabinet.
The Ministry of Health is one of the ministries that receive the biggest chunk in terms of the national budget every year. When you hear about tensions within top management, obviously this is having an impact on especially staff members within the ministry and perhaps even at hospitals.
Well, that's the reason I said the situation had become untenable. And if I receive a call even tonight saying, pack your bag, I will pack my bags. But I don't think that staying longer together with the peers, who is unfortunately not here to state his case, and I hope he will get the platform also to say his side of the story. I really just don't see, in terms of principle that I believe in and that I was brought up as a child up to now, in terms of how you manage resources that are supposed to take care of the bigger population, I just couldn't take that, and that's the reason why I told the accounting officer personally that I have no more trust in him, and I have all my evidence. I have a dossier of all the activities that have been taking place that I have uncovered, that I can make available to the media. They are with Anti-Corruption Commission. They are also with the committee that is doing disciplinary hearing. So I have done what I believe is what I need to do, to identify a problem that is affecting not just the relationship between me and the accounting officer, but it's affecting resource distribution in a justified manner. And there's a lot of deprivation of the community because of the way certain things were managed and handled in the ministry largely.
Now, talking about resources, several doctors have reportedly written letters to you voicing their unhappiness about state of health facilities as well as a shortage of medicine. Have you met with them? Has this situation been addressed? Is this true?
Well, we had a meeting yesterday in my office with all the concerned doctors. These are the ones from the Department of Surgery. But before that, I also had a meeting last week with all the cardiac specialists in the country to try and sort out issues relating to their field. As a practical way of informing everyone, I have invited these specialists to Cabinet this morning to brief the entire Cabinet, not just the President, of what exactly is happening. So what came out there is one or two things, and I would like, just in the interest of time, mention that the issue of the letter was written by Dr. Manoj Campbell, who is the head of surgery at Katutura Hospital, whom I know for many, many years. I mean, I worked in Katutura Hospital as an anesthetist many years ago. He wrote to me to tell me that certain basic equipments or consumables are not available. In the same manner that the head of pediatric cardiologists mentioned to me last week that they are having 85 children on a waiting list to undergo heart surgery, and they are told there were no resources. I mean, over the last 7 days, I was running like a chicken without a head, consulting even up to the president to sort out this matter. But one surprise I found, which I believe is linked to lack of leadership in the ministry, is the fact that more than 80% of these items mentioned in Dr. Campbell's letter are actually available at medical store. So at the meeting we had with the surgeon, Dr. Campbell and his colleague, I called all the people responsible for that. And if you can call the people who were present, there were even somebody really arrogantly responding in a way that is unbecoming. So this is the type of entities that we have in the ministry. Maybe not everywhere, not everyone, but you have those that do not show leadership. It's a matter of communication between Central Medical Store, Katutura Hospital Theatre, or other departments such as Casualty Department, to say these are the items we need. And most of those items are not complicated items. It's basic life-saving things, like doctor mentioned the nasogastric tube, intercostal drain, or a catheter for emptying a bladder from urine. These are the things that they don't have.
And is the situation still the same, Dr. Haufiku?
Well, the items are in Central Medical Store. I have invited your colleagues to join me tomorrow morning to show them that these items are actually there. Meanwhile, the surgeons in theater are told no stock of these items. And that is where we have to come to the bottom of it. And whether now we come to the bottom of that or not, for me, it's the question of leadership. You can't tell me all the time that you haven't got ABC at Katima Hospital or Ludres. I will best in that hospital one day as a leader to see for myself what or what is not there. So this doesn't seem to be happening. And these are all issues also under the management of the accounting officers.
Well, it seems there's still a lot of challenges that need to be dealt with. Dr. Haufiku, thank you so much for taking time to come and clarify some of these matters.
Most welcome.
And that was Dr. Bernard Haufiku, the Minister of Health and Social Services. We continue with